Alrighty guys, Tucker for Wordy here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very stoked. This is actually my first time having Tatiana Belim on with me in person. So the questions that I'm gonna ask her during this interview, I actually don't know them. So I'm very stoked to actually start asking these questions to her in regards to one of her product launches, funnel boards. I bought the product, I love the product. It is one of the most organized products that I have ever bought in terms of establishing the foundation for you to actually go and launch your funnel board, or sorry, your funnels. It's so cool. Like, I know ClickFunnels, for example, has their own launch checklist, but like these funnel boards are so good. I would rather actually use funnel boards to actually checklist and go off that. So anyway, enough about that. Tatiana, welcome. Super stoked to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for such a great presentation of the funnel boards. I'm really happy to hear that you're enjoying them.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. We're using them. I specialize in just launching education businesses. So launching courses, launching coaching programs, launching events, etc. And I love talking with people who also do the same thing, just because I know my niche is very interested in that. I'm especially very interested in that. And I know it's like, it's different from just like putting something together, because you still have to get it out to the market. And what most people do, they actually like kind of do things the wrong way. They try to create something amazing and then they try to sell it. Whereas what I do, and I don't know how this is for you, but like I try to sell something first, just validate the offer and then sell that. So I'm sure we're going to get into a lot of cool details today during this interview for just how you went about launching funnel boards. And real quick, why don't you just give, you know, a 1 to 2 minute version of yourself, you know, your background, your history, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll just go from there with the rest of the questions.
Okay, so I have a background in software development. I've been doing that for about 20 years. And like slowly I got into the project management and then into the developing systems and processes for friends that were running small businesses. And I just love the energy of these like smaller and like enterprises or like entrepreneurial energy. And slowly I wanted to transition out of the corporate world into the working with the small businesses. And as I got into the marketing, learning more about the marketing, I got into the funnel world, sort of say. And as I started on building my own funnel, the application funnel for my services, this kind of all came together. I started, at the time I was working with a couple of the funnel building agencies, and through kind of like working with them and working on my own funnels, the funnel boards came about.
Awesome.
And that actually got launched first before my application funnel, ironically.
So to backtrack then, you were, I mean, that's probably where it came from. Your ability to organize things in your head, probably from software during the past 20 years, right? That's insane.
Yes.
That's so cool. I love seeing the trends on how something came about from past history. It's very exciting. So you did that and then you came back, and so I'm sorry, I probably was confused, but you started doing services then first.
Yes.
And then you kind of saw what was going on inside of funnel agencies, and then you kind of documented the process to then and then that's where funnel boards was created.
Yes.
Then.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So yes, I had a couple of people of kind of guiding me in my funnel building process, and as I was working with them, helping with their processes, kind of observing what's going on and putting putting those best practices together into creating the system.
So you kind of saw their systems, you probably saw loopholes in their systems to where then that said, hey, I would love to do this. And I see big, I call them money holes, where tons of money are just flowing out when you need to
Mm-hmm.
patch them up, right? So you saw the kinks in people's businesses, or at least their systems, when it came down to building funnels, and you're like, I'm going to solve this problem.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
exactly.
I love that. That's so cool. So how long then have you been in the digital marketing space? If during the past 20 years, let's just say you've been in software, how long have you been doing digital marketing?
It took me like over a year and a half to launch the funnel boards, and I think it's like a lot of people can relate to that. There's a lot of resistance putting your product out there. It's like I
Yeah,
would rather go and work on somebody else's stuff than to
sure.
work on my own. So that's yeah. So I would say it's been 2 years, about 2 years now, maybe a little more than that.
Holy smokes. That's so I can relate to that a lot. Because my currently I love agency work. Don't get me wrong. I love serving people. I love helping them where my strengths or their weaknesses, etc. But there comes to a point where you are doing agency work and your time is just limited. Like you
Mhm.
can't do as much for yourself. And sadly, some agencies out there, they're very good at marketing for others, but when it comes down to their own foundations, it takes a long time. Like we've got some products that have been in development for literally a year and a half. They've produced hundreds of thousands of dollars already, but still my own products, like I'm trying to get now my products when the agency is the main business generator, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So love that example. And yeah, it just definitely helps me, kind of want to push more and push harder, just because it does take that long time. But it doesn't have to. Like I'm sure but we've done some launches that took like 15 days, and they worked out great. Awesome. So let's first talk about like the main goal, like the amount of results that you have done monetarily speaking
Mhm.
from the funnel boards, and then we'll kind of reverse engineer how everything came about, and then the whole process of you figuring out the idea, you putting together the idea, you launching the idea, and then seeing the fruits of your labor from all of that work. Okay.
Okay.
So in total, if I can ask, and it doesn't have to be specific, it can be broad, but I just want to have a certain number. And every single person that I talk to, basically, I like to have the formula of, if I can do X in X amount of time doing
Mhm.
X, that right there, your bank account, your business will never go broke, because there's results, and the results can be tracked within a certain time frame. So within this given time frame, if you could answer that question, how much money has Funnel Boards made in total? And let's just talk about revenue and then profit, and then how much money, or how long has it taken you to do?
Okay, so we are closing in on 200 right now.
Awesome.
200. And that would be, I would say would be in the just over 8 month period.
So 200 grand in an 8 month period. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you can, obviously revenue/profit, what's the profit margin that you're experiencing?
It's really like narrowing down very rapidly right now. It's
Sure.
like ads are getting more and more expensive.
Sure.
So we're in the beginning, we were running about the 70% margin. Now it's like closing down to 10-15%.
Okay.
And so I've currently like paused all the paid ads, and this is the one of the reasons why I'm looking at the updating the funnel boards, making it and so some changes to it to kind of put like some fresh juice into it. So give it another go, sort of say.
Yeah. Okay. I
But
love that. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but still, it's like that funnel was designed to be like self-liquidating funnel. It was not designed to generate the profit on the front end. So this is like the top of the funnel, the front end funnel. So it's still considered to be successful if it's breaking even, which is what it's about doing. It got to the point where it is right now.
Sure. Well, yeah, like I love the transparency, and that's gold. I think a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, they're just like, oh yeah, we're making bank and so many cool things, but they don't see behind the scenes of what is actually happening. So I'm glad that you
Mm-hmm.
shared that. It started off great, and anybody who's doing anything with paid advertising obviously knows that nothing is ever constant. It's always
Mm-hmm.
changing. You're always changing out audiences. You're always changing out creatives. You're always changing out You're always optimizing. And I love that you said that, yes, it is a self-liquidating offer, simply because you could probably literally do a launch right now with your current list for a higher ticket offer, 2 to 5K, maybe even 10K, depending on the type of offer and price point and value that you're giving, and freaking crush out a huge, back end launch from all of the work that you've already
Yeah,
been doing, right?
yeah, exactly.
So that's
That was the
exactly,
goal.
yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I've been watching Ali. I don't know how to pronounce her last name very well, but
Bjork.
Yerk, yeah. Her launch has been phenomenal, and I love how a simple $27 offer has just produced dividends. And that's where I want to be. That's where I am going to be. That's where I'm going to take all my clients as well. It's going to be so exciting. Like, I'm so pumped. So very grateful just to have you. I'm sure the audience is very grateful to have you, and I'm sure you're very grateful for
Oh,
all the cool things
absolutely.
that are going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let's now reverse engineer. Let's just talk about, so perfect numbers, by the way. I love that you shared that. With your, let's just kind of map it out kind of in the air. The first price point was 27,
Yes.
and that's for the main funnel board. And you've got
Yeah,
the,
that was for the intro, or like intro pack, the 5 funnels.
okay. Yeah, why don't you just kind of lay out the price points and then the offer stack on how you currently have it set up. And if you want to, you can go into how you want to take it.
Okay, so the offer stack is for the intro offer, it's five boards. I think what do I have? I have a SLO funnel. I have the application funnel, live webinar funnel, challenge funnel, and summit funnel.
Okay.
And my bonuses are the research Google Sheet. I have another board that's basically like step-by-step guide into the creating the onboarding process for your clients. And the third one is the PDF of the checklist for the funnel boards. So it's basically in a printable format, and that one was there to basically to address the objection of if anybody not using Trello or that not comfortable or not willing to use any of the project management software.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay, so you've got that laid out. How did you come up with the stack? How did you know where to place things? And then I'll ask the next question for price points.
So as I mentioned, the checklists were to address the objection of people not wanting to use Trello.
Okay.
The competition research Google Sheet was to bring a little bit of a different format into the offer stack. And the client onboarding, that was something that as I was talking to people who would be interested in final words, so that was a little bit of market research, and that
Cool.
I don't remember exactly what was the other choice, but that's something people wanted to see as one of the bonuses. It's like, and it's like once you have the funnels in place, you have the intake, like you have clients coming in, and that's probably like next logical step is you want to have the great onboarding process.
Love it. So there were a few things that I picked out from that. Market research. Who did you ask? Were they clients? Were they email list? Were they from your personal profile, for example?
I think it was the I had 0 email list at that point.
Cool.
So
That's
couldn't
awesome,
do
though.
the list, couldn't
Yeah,
do the list. So I asked the in several groups, I asked the like I would say my network of people, sort of say, and my clients, and also like who I thought would be my target audience.
Okay.
So I did that several groups of people that I asked about those.
Cool. So you used, as I like to call it, OPA, other people's audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I like to teach as well, just by especially the customer research type point. I have
Mm-hmm.
literally like customer research and market research is probably one of my most favorite things to do because I'm learning, but then I'm dialing in the exact worded, the exact typed out responses from my target audience. So I actually have my audience go to like Amazon, Udemy, even like Reddit comments or Facebook posts asking those questions. So spot on for that. And then I love how you were able to basically base that your current offer off of what the responses were from other people and just put that together, which is very cool. So then we've got the offer stack. Now let's just talk about price points. Why the price? Let's go back. So it was 27 on the front end, 37 for the order bump.
It was 17 for the order bump.
17.
Like, so it's
Okay.
20. Actually, when they first came out, it was the live masterclass. So it was priced at $37. And then
Okay.
I turned that into the mini course, and then I dropped the price on that.
Gotcha. Cool. Just split testing and everything and
Mm-hmm.
seeing what's working. Cool. And then I think you had an upsell after that, right? The OTO,
Yes.
what was it?
The ATO was the 22 additional boards.
Yep,
And
that's perfect.
yeah, and it's like that what I feel like it was like brute force on value because you get it so much.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, I saw that and I was like, well, duh, I have to have that. I literally bought everything. And that was, what was the price point on that one? The OTO?
it was $97.
97. That's right. And that's what I emailed because that's right. That's so
Mm-hmm.
funny. Cool. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Thank you for sharing that. Cool. So we got the question for how did the offer stack happen? Now let's talk about the design. Did you design it? Did you have someone else design it? How did that work in your wheelhouse?
I was using the templates for my funnels. So the good friend of mine and actually my mentor coach, they came out with the funnel gorgeous. If you have not heard of
Yeah.
that. Okay, so I used one of the templates. It's heavily modified. I also used for my graphics, and logo, I used the, what is it? Uh, I'm trying to pick, I'm trying to remember what, it's one of the design companies, it's like Pickle, but it's smaller.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
I'm
right.
trying to remember. I can't. Penguin or something like that. No,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
or Igloo or Pebble design. No, something like that. I have to because they use
We
a
can.
lot of like those names throughout their
Right.
process, but I'm just not. It's the name is not clicking. So one of those company I used for the like mock-up graphics and
Okay.
for the logo design and just and yes, I did work with the copywriter to get the copy in the funnel. So
Gotcha.
was my uh, biggest sticking point is trying to do the copy myself, and it's definitely not my strongest thing.
Gotcha. So I love that. I am great with strategy and I'm great with actually copywriting. That's one of my strong suits.
Mm-hmm.
But design, I struggle so much with design. If I really put my time into it, I can do something good and I can be dangerous. But it's just I'm way more analytical. And when I just think about design, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to have this someone else do this just because it's so crazy. So cool for you though, because you get to see kind of the offer layout. You designed it, you had help with the copy, but it's almost like you have a different brain for each, like you have a great skill set for each side of the brain, left and right, for both the
Mm-hmm.
analytical side of how the offer needs to be structured, how the funnels need to be, but then the design element. Because I actually thought that you probably had that designed and that you didn't actually do it yourself. So great work on your part.
Well, yeah, I kind of had like went off the template, and it's yeah, with the designing
Yeah. Mm.
the all the mock-ups and everything. I've had really very concrete idea in mind that what I wanted to be done, and I think it's one of the the things that you need to have when you're asking for the work to be done for you. It's like you have to
Yes.
have a like very detailed instructions of what you're looking for. Otherwise,
Yes.
you're never gonna end up with something that you like or want to use. So it's like very important to have a very clear picture on what you're looking for, and then be very, very descriptive when asking for somebody to do something for you.
Yeah, I'm figuring that out very quickly. I'm used to doing everything for myself, but during the past 6 months have really been me trying to focus on more of my craft for what I'm doing, and then just outsourcing the rest, all the tech, all of the smaller tasks that can be done by anybody, and just really focusing on my craft in terms of copywriting, strategy, and the launch system, just to make sure that people are getting paid, for example. That actually brings me to my next question. So it's built, it's done, it's laid out, it's fleshed out, it's been split tested, design is there, copy is there, offers are there, stack is there. You've done your homework, obviously. How did you launch it? Did you go to organic first or then paid?
I went like paid, because
Okay, you
it's
just
like
straight up to
I
paid.
was not exactly ready to be a digital marketer per se. It's like at that point I was still I was doing services for the small businesses.
uh,
I was and yeah, definitely didn't have my digital marketer hat at that point. I was not ready to put it on my profile, put it on
sure.
like everywhere. So I just like it just was strictly paid ads, and it's like showed out.
Major props to you. I typically don't do that. I like to go organic. Now, there's there's like two types of traffic. So my 5-step program, my 5-step process is thus. Step one is always research. Research involves customer research and then market research. That's step one. Step two is craft the offer based around your research, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to create something that no one wants. You don't want to create something that isn't already selling in the marketplace. And then, anyway, I have a lot of other things, but let's just keep it there. And then
Mm-hmm.
once that offer is crafted, every single offer needs to have at least the modules or content, needs to have case studies, needs to have 3 to 5 bonuses, and then needs to have tools. That offer stack is like the best type of offer stack you can
Mm-hmm.
use for any type of business, right? So then once that offer is crafted, okay, then you plug that into a sales machine. Sales machine means sales funnels, ManyChat automations, email automations, and just packaging all those things together. Once that's done, then, and this is what we're kind of going to talk about here, you get traffic. So there's two types of traffic. There's paid and then there's organic. Organic can be like your current list, or like I said, OPA, other people's audiences, to where then it's called leveraged traffic. You
Mm-hmm.
then leverage other people's traffic or your own traffic, or Facebook, it can still be considered leveraged traffic because you're still using Facebook, its audience, right? But anyway, so you used Facebook ads then, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. So then traffic, and then the 5-step is scale, and that just means more offers, bigger price points, the entire value ladder, how to use more automations, how to use more webinars, for example, more integrations so that you can make more and work less. That's kind of my 5-step program. So you started straight towards Facebook ads. Did you do them yourself, or did you have someone else do them?
I did my own ads.
Oh my gosh, you are just expert at everything. That is so cool.
It felt like throwing darts in the dark, but
Yeah,
it worked.
that is insane. Gosh, like 200 G's in 8 months, basically all done by yourself. That is amazing. So let's just a simple structure. How did you set up your ads? Types of campaigns, how many ad sets, what type of audiences, how many creatives, for example?
I started off with the 3 creatives. I think it's I had about 5 or 6 audiences, and pretty fast, like within a week or so, I got to the just over 100, 200 people within few weeks. And I was able to create lookalike audiences,
Okay.
and that's pretty much was the rest of the traffic was the lookalike
Lookalike.
audiences.
Okay, awesome. What was your daily budget starting out in total, I'm sure, for all of the ad sets? And then, so you said you had 200 buyers within the first couple of weeks.
Yes.
Awesome. Wow, that's amazing. So what was your daily ad budget for that during the first week or two?
It was about $300 a day.
$300. Cool. So and that's per day?
Per day.
Per day. Okay, cool. So you bidded, I don't know what the word is. You bidded appropriately then. Most people, they try to start at like $5 to $10 per day and with like one campaign, but
Mm-hmm.
you started, and this is the same exact thing we do. I like to do at least with anything, at least $1,000 per day, but anything worldwide is like 2 to 3 grand again, at least
Mm-hmm.
per month, not per day, obviously, but the more data that you can capture in the front end, it just helps you save way more money on the back end. And then you're not figuring out like, oh, why isn't this converting? Well, it's because you're not spending enough money and you're not figuring out which audiences are the right types of buyers. Anyway, so you did that 300 per day. So that's really good bidding, especially for you and where you were at. So you did that, you started with 3 creatives, and then you just led everybody towards the normal funnel, right? Like no crazy analytics, no crazy like Google Analytics. You just send it straight there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. And then just Facebook, nothing, no Google ads, no YouTube ads, strictly
No,
Facebook.
no,
Yeah.
strictly Facebook. That's something on my list, to-do list, is to have the sorry about that. Yeah, just the Facebook ads, Google ads is something on my to-do list, the YouTube ads, but not there yet.
Okay. Cool. Well, so Facebook ads, we got that one done. And then, okay, cool. So this is where I want to talk about next. And then we can kind of close and figure out where people are, where people can find you.
Okay.
So with Russell Brunson, he did something very cool. Why don't you kind of tell more about that story?
Okay, so I guess it started out with the my coach Julie Stoin putting out the um, blog post on doing that ad strategy that I used for the $1,000 in 3-day ad strategy. And then reaching, it's like basically, I think I doubled, if not more, like the amount I put into the Facebook ads over those 3 days. So she wrote the blog post, and I think it's like after that, it's got attention of Russell Brunson, and so him going into checking out one of my ads and liking my page, I think. And a few weeks later, they reached out and they want a license funnel boards for the Two Comma Club program.
So cool. Like, how many people out there can actually say that Russell Brunson bought my course or bought my package or bought my product or service or whatever? That is so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and so I've seen that just now on FHL, making it the stack for they renamed the Two Comma Club to the ClickFunnels Collective. So that's that was pretty awesome.
That's so cool. I mean, they should have, yeah, I don't know. Did you get, so I've never been, just for multiple reasons, family and wife getting pregnant and then other events, etc. But we're going this upcoming year. Did you or do you get an award for that? Like a licensed member or something? No?
Nah.
You should put something together. Interesting.
Yeah, no,
cool. So
it's like, hopefully with the right direction and the right path, we'll get to the Two Comma Club with funnels, so then we'll get them.
Well, you're a fifth of the way there. Just crush it out with a high ticket offer during this next year and you'll be there up on stage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got several clients right now who, like, again, they've graduated themselves from organic traffic. Now we're doing paid ads and then leverage traffic. That's like, it's just how things have kind of flowed. So in terms of that, how much, and you don't have to share if you don't want to, but if it would be cool, how much is it to get your course or whatever licensed by ClickFunnels, for example?
I'm not really sure I can share that information. Sorry.
That's cool. Don't worry about it.
Um,
Yeah, I know. So I know a lot of consultants, they license their courses to like they license their courses or like programs to other companies. And then
mhm.
it's like a retainer, or it's like based off of the amount of people that they get, etc. Um, so
Yeah,
that's totally
I can. It was the just flat fee license. I think I can share that much information, but
okay. Perfect. So just a
mhm,
flat fee. I love that.
mhm.
Cool. And that's all that needs to be shared then, right? Cool. Well, like I am very excited. There is a link that's going to be connected with this video for funnel boards. Just go buy it. Guys, whoever's watching this video, just go buy it. It will literally save you a ton of time, and you can literally either take that for yourself or just hand it off to your team or an agency and just be like, follow these steps, and like your life will just be made so much easier versus trying. Because I'll tell you this thing, I did great in the beginning at doing everything myself inside of my agency, but what I struggled with the most was I should have outsourced as fast as possible, because then it would allow me to actually be the business owner and not the glorified freelancer, especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do have great skill sets, but because I have these great skill sets, it's now harder for me to actually explain, because it seems so easy for me. When I explain these systems and processes, it takes a long time for me to actually relay information the right way on how people need to do things. So take these boards, use them, get yourself out of the glorified freelancer stage as fast as possible, become the business owner that you need to be, and just streamline your business and processes way quicker than I did. So I hope whoever's watching this video will go and do that. So Tatiana, where can people find you? Whether it's a website, email, whatever. And then if you have anything else to share that could be exciting that they could be expecting here soon, let them know as well.
Okay, so you people can find me at tatianabelim.com. That's my website, and that's all the information on how I can help them with the systems and processes. And they can find the funnel boards on the funnelboards.com. And I'm like super excited. There's something on the in the works for the uh, I would say the addition to the funnel boards, there's going to be a new product that's coming out soon, and it's going to go over into the actually funnel performance, funnel analytics, and keeping track of all the things funnels, and uh, measuring the all the basically tracking all the numbers and what's the word for it?
No worries. I do that all the time too.
Optimizing your funnels. That's what the
Yes.
word I
Yeah,
was looking for.
you're good.
Yeah, so this is, I think it's going to be funnel board numbers. I have to,
Mhm.
still working on the name, but I think pretty much that's what it's going to be. And I'm like super stoked about that add-on for the, and it's going to go over the Google Analytics UDM campaign
Oh, fun.
setup and pulling all the, collecting all the data, standardizing all the data, and creating the dashboards that's going to help you see where your funnels are in one
Sure.
glance.
So that's awesome. So is this for, and it's totally fine if it's not, but like, is this for current members and it's going to be added upon that, or is it a separate different product that more
It's
members?
it's going to be a separate product that's
Cool.
going to be available for a purchase. So
Okay. Well,
it's
keep
going
me
to be
posted.
hmm?
Keep me posted, because I
Okay,
would
I
love
will
to.
definitely will. I will definitely will.
Yes, keep me posted, because I love what you have already, and the analytics and numbers and everything. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So just keep me posted on when that goes live. Cool. Well, again, I'm very stoked, very excited that you took your time to explain just your whole entire business in a nutshell, basically. And again, thank you so much for all that you're doing, for the good work you're putting in, for making sure your customers are taken care of, for making sure that you're putting out a good quality product and that you actually care about people's success. Like, if anything, that just shows from everything that you have already going on. And then not only that though, but like your results, like the care for people's success shows in the results that you currently have by launching something that will help people. So anyway, with that being said, thank you again, Tatiana. I hope to see you very soon with just upcoming launches and products. And we will stop it at that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be on your show.